right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Progressive Podcast. It's season 9 and it's episode 69. We're here with Dumi and we're here in the flesh this time around.
Yeah. It's good to be here, guys. It's good to be here.
Yeah, man.
This is it's a blessing, man. It's a blessing to be here and just like be live. I guess this is our first recorded episode.
Yeah, it's like our first video episode, actually.
Yeah, it's our first video episode. So, man, exciting times, guys. Season 9. We're, doing something a bit familiar. We could say it like that. Yeah.
No, it's definitely familiar times, man.
For those that have been with us for the long haul or, have been in from the beginning, Yeah,
no, it's actually quite interesting, before we get into the episode itself. And like the reason why we named it like reintroduction is because we think this is like a new page. Not page, because every episode's a page. It's like a new chapter within the podcast.
A new chapter, I think
it's a new chapter, and we're very excited to see what we can cook for you guys and what we can cook together as a collective as well, because if you do enjoy what we talk about, and if you believe in us, please do like, subscribe, and follow, and all of that stuff. And also share
with your friends, your family,
if it is your first time here, my name is Mietani Chitambira. This is our co-host here, Edmilson Guilaze, also known as Dumi.
Yes,
sir.
It's just nice to be here, man.
But it's crazy, man. But we're here. We're the hosts of the Progressive Podcast, and what we stand for, what we talk about here. This is just a platform to help you guys take your lives to the next level, episode by episode, through some engaging conversations. We are a self-improvement podcast. As we say at the Progressive Athlete, it's progression over everything.
Progression over everything.
That's why it's called the Progressive Podcast. If you are catching on. If you're not, then welcome.
Have a look at the logo as well.
Have a look at the logo. That kind of
tells its own story,
shapes it for you. But we are working towards getting some proper regalia, some merch, or whatever the case may be. So if you have any suggestions, please do let us know in the comments. We're currently going with the company colors, blue. And we'll try figure this thing out bit by bit, man.
Bit by bit.
But
gotta start somewhere.
Humble beginnings.
Amen.
Yes, sir. Let's start with it's been a month, man. It's been a month. What's been happening in your life, bro? Let's talk about that real quick.
I guess it has been a while since it's been a while since we were since our last episode aired. What's been going on in my life? I think around the time our last episode aired, I was finishing school. We have 4 terms. I think I might have explained this before. Instead of semesters. So our 3rd term finished. I ended up going home, spending some time with family, and just like rejuvenating, recharging. It was important. I think there were a lot of things that I needed to like just question myself on and just think about, heading into what is essentially, like you said, a new chapter. It's not only a new chapter for the podcast, but also for the Progressive Athlete, as well as us as individuals, So there's just like a lot of thought and a lot of
exciting stuff that's happening, man.
So it's I've been all right. It's been relaxed, but about to get into full flow in terms of school. We're coming back for the last term of the year.
The last dance, baby.
The last dance of the year. It's been an interesting year, to say the least.
Very interesting. Very.
But man, that's me, man. And how about yourself, Mietani? It's been a ride.
It's been a ride, man. It's been a ride, man. I'm growing a bit of facial hair here, man. About damn time. But it's been very eventful. My hair has been going through a lot. I had cornrows then for a shoot, because we had our graduation shoot. That was actually quite fun. And I think I'll touch on that maybe a bit later, because I actually learned quite. I think there were things that we went through as a crew and cast that that are very pivotal and important for the creatives.
Yeah.
But I think also there's certain lessons that I think anyone can really take and also adapt into their personal lives. But it was very fun shooting my final project, my final film for my degree, and then coming home just to rejuvenate and just, not be within the arts space.
Yeah,
it was amazing, man. There's some really exciting stuff that we've been cooking up, I guess, on both the podcast stuff and on the Progressive Athlete side as well. But yeah, I think personally, man, there's something about going home.
Yeah.
That's nice. Like, apart from the fact that there's no load shedding, there's always water and there's always electricity, man. And you don't cook as much because, like, you're home.
And
at home, there's
not
a lot
like
more.
your primary at home. At least it's not your primary function.
I mean, we're not saying that we don't like cook at all.
Yeah.
But it's just like there's a lot better cooks at home.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of you that can agree with this.
Yeah, like there's a hierarchy. You get what I'm saying?
Let's be honest.
Yeah, it's like you've got let's say you've got strikers, right? You've got Cristiano Ronaldo, you've got Mbappe, you've got Messi, you've got Neymar. Then you've got Callum Wilson, for example.
Yeah.
See, Callum Wilson was that guy. Where is he? Where's he? Newcastle.
Newcastle
right?
Now, yeah. He's at Newcastle.
Yeah, he's that guy, right, in Newcastle. Yeah. But put that dude in PSG, fam. And Madrid, bro. Like, he's not that guy, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
There's levels.
There's levels. So that's what I'm saying. But yeah, I think now that we've gotten that out of the way, it's actually quite, sorry, I'm not crying. My eyes are very itchy.
Definitely no onions here.
Yeah, no onions here, man. Guys. Like, my left eye has issues.
Nothing like that.
That's why I get the glasses. It's actually quite interesting. We're in class the one time and we're doing a scene, right? So the camera was here as is, and then behind the camera is my lecturer, right? Because he's the one manning the camera. And then there's like this huge window with light coming in, and there's my partner who's standing like just next to the camera. And so we're watching playback, and then they're like, "You blink a lot," and I was like, "Guys, I wear glasses, man." And like the light, so sometimes my left eye can get a bit lazy, and like kind of depending on how much light is coming in, it takes time to like focus. So focusing was hard because the light was directly behind my fellow co-star. But so I wasn't crying, man. But I think it's been a very interesting and humbling journey doing this podcast. And we've shared the story multiple times, but we're going to share it again because it's going to be the first time you're going to see our faces while we share the story.
Yeah.
But I started the business. I started the Progressive Athlete 2020. Right, and
April,
May 6th of May 2020,
6th of May,
and peak pandemic, right? And one of the things that I'd written down was like, we should have a podcast one day. So around this time, in fact, November 2021, I said to Dumi, I was like, my guy, we need to have a podcast, bro. And, we had our conversations, and it was one of those things like, who's going to listen to us, bro?
We had a few questions. I'm sure anyone has.
Like when you want to start something.
Especially like putting yourself out there, because that's basically what you do.
Exactly. Because, like one of my concerns was like, man, we're not even like, you can't be a qualified podcaster.
Yeah, it's not.
You get what I'm saying? Because it's like,
it's not a,
It's not
I don't know, maybe in like 15, 20 years.
Maybe this might have to be
because
like
it's really becoming part of culture in general. But for now, there is no one that's quote unquote qualified. We're all learning.
We're all just
Some people
learning.
just started a bit earlier. That's all.
Exactly. So we did that. And, if you listen to our first episode, which was about an hour.
Oh man, no.
Which was about an hour, man. And I listened to that thing.
The fruits definitely weren't ripe. Let's say that.
It was like, when you eat a banana before it's ready.
Oh man. Yeah.
I'm not saying it was like distasteful or anything, but like it just shows. If you listen to that first episode, and then let's say you listen to episode 68, right? Is it 68 or 67 or 69? I think I might have said
we are on episode 68, or I think we're recording episode 68 now, actually.
No, I think we're actually on 69.
Are we on 60?
I think we're on 69. Oh wait, no, we're on 68. My apologies.
So today
it's 68.
Episode 68.
It's 68. I was just very excited, man, because like, you know, like how nice it is to be able to like once we hit 70, we're like 30 episodes away from 100 episodes.
Yeah, that's it's funny, like you start something and you're like, well, I guess if you do the numbers, eventually you'll get there. But you don't really think about, getting to 100. You just kind of like take it day by day and hope that, hey, you're learning, but then you're also achieving whatever your objective is in your particular podcast, you know? So you don't really think about that right away. When we hit like 50, then we're like, wow. 50, wow. So maybe, if you can do 50, you can do double that. And then that's 100. And
then you just keep it going, man.
Yeah.
Like, it'll be actually quite interesting because when, you know, like I want to have kids, like, you know, we want to have, you know, kids.
I would like to have kids as well.
Yeah, you know, and then
God willing,
you know, like there'll be things like this podcast that they can listen to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like and I think we talked about this in the season where we're talking about like generational wealth and stuff.
Yeah.
And you know, like just the impact you have with like generations and everything, you know, this is quite, the nice thing about self-improvement, it's timeless content.
Oh yeah, that's what we said at the time. Yeah. This, you could listen to probably like 90% of our content 10 years from now. And it works. Yeah, it works. Yeah. So
it's pretty cool, man.
Yeah.
It's pretty solid. And I think, you know, it's very surreal when we look at the countries we're streaming in.
Oh, yeah.
We're streaming in 42 countries worldwide.
Shout out, guys, by the way. Some of you are seeing
thank you for that.
For the first time, like face to face. So man, like thank you guys. Like it really means a lot, man. Like,
you guys are the best, man. Like it's actually quite crazy. I think an interesting statistic, and we're talking about this the other day.
Yeah.
We streaming in 42 countries, and 4 of those countries are African countries, right? And the rest are all over the world, you know,
all continents,
right?
Yeah.
And that just shows the difference in economies and economic power, right? Because in Africa we don't have there's a lot of developing countries, and third world, you know, economies.
For the most part,
so not a lot of people have that luxury to. You know, of course, not everyone has access to the internet, therefore they won't have access to our podcasts.
Yeah.
Right? And self-improvement and everything, it's nice. It's a bit of a luxury.
Yeah.
Right? But like when you're in a situation where you can't afford to spend time to sit down and watch a podcast because if you ain't working, you're not eating. And if you ain't eating, you're going to die.
Yeah. Most people are worried about like putting food on the table.
Yeah.
And if you're worried about that, then there's other things that weren't necessarily be on your mind.
Yeah. Exactly. So it's like a very interesting, it all boils down to like priorities because you know those videos on social media, especially when it comes down to like things of, you need to invest your money, you need to do this, you need to do that. And this is why poor people stay poor. Like if you give a poor person or a person who, I don't like the word poor, man, but like a financially disadvantaged person.
Yeah.
Right. You give them 100,000 rand, they're looking to meet their needs first.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, and once their needs are met, then they can start to consider everything else.
Yeah.
Right, but when you start looking at the affluent market of people, where you give them 100,000 rand, already they won't, on top of what they currently have, most of their needs are already met. Yeah. And maybe they can afford to take maybe 50,000 of that 100 and maybe invest it. You know, in an equity fund or in a bond or whatever those things, whatever people want to, you know, invest their money in.
Yeah.
So it's been a very interesting journey, man. You know, when people say like, when I tell people like, I got a podcast, bro, and you know, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know. Like dudes, like gents, maybe ladies, if you can chip in, but like, you know, like as a guy, when you tell people you have a podcast, I don't know why people think like it's automatically like red pill, you know, like red pill content, which is a discussion for another day. And I think that would actually make a good episode topic.
Yeah. I think it's something that we could decipher in terms of like looking at, firstly, what does that term mean? And then what is out there, what's like the consensus out there, but then what is the best way to kind of take that and go.
And I think it would actually be quite interesting if we could break it down.
Yeah.
Maybe into like a whole season, whole 8 episodes. And really take it like topic for topic for topic. And this was not planned. That look, the company colors are blue, right? Yeah. But in the podcast logo, it's a bit of red.
There's a bit of
spice, a bit of sauce. Sorry.
I'm so done.
Sauce. What's that saying? There's that saying. There's what? It's either you have the juice or the sauce, right? But you gotta have the sauce because the juice don't last forever or something like that. Anyways,
I'm not sure of the saying. Yeah.
We'll look for it and we'll find it and we'll put it on our social media. So
we will.
But yeah, back to the main thing. We kind of diverted a bit, but people will be like expecting something red pill, and I mean, I understand, and I'm not saying this is right or anything, like everyone goes through what they go through, and just, dudes, man, they just, they left with no choice but to end up with that type of thing. But like we said, that's a discussion for another day. But what's been your highlight so far?
Yeah, I think it's interesting that you asked that, because one of the reasons we're doing this episode before we go into the topics for the rest of the season is not only to talk about, I guess, the podcast and the stats and, the great stuff, but also just to talk about how has it impacted the two of us individually.
Real.
What has been my highlight, man? I would say just in the beginning, right? In the beginning, we started, and obviously we knew the topics, the kind of topics we wanted to talk about, but we weren't sure, how are we going to do this? Like, we didn't even think of having seasons initially. Yeah. But then we kind of just, we finished a bunch of topics, right? It was being dependable, morning routine, productivity, those topics. And then it just kind of, when we were like about 5 episodes in, we're like, okay, we've actually covered like very basic topics. Let's cut it off here and then start like another season. And I think what I enjoyed was the interviews, like especially the first interview, which was with Eduarda, as well as Martin's interview. The first interview with Eduarda is because we had that interview or episode, and then because of that, it's really gone on to shape the rest of how we've run the podcast, purely because Eduarda ended up coming on the season after, so season 3. So she came on in season 2, where she was a guest in season 2. She came on in season 3, and that's really shaped like the 3 of us. It's really shaped how we've gone on to do it. Real. So I enjoyed that, and also just Martin's episode, a man to man. I think we got a lot of good tidbits from that. But also personally for me, I'm not gonna lie, I've said this before, or maybe I don't remember if I've actually said this in the episode, in any episode, but I was really nervous because I don't remember why, but Mietani, you were out. Like I
was down.
I think you were sick, right? Yeah, no, Mietani was.
I was out, man.
Man, that was one episode that I was like, man, I don't know, can I do it by myself? But like, man, I did well, and it was a great episode, and obviously it got a lot of plays, right? It got a lot of plays. And
it's actually like one of our most played episodes, actually.
Yeah, it's
shout out Martin.
Is it the top one still? Maybe not.
I think so. We'll have to check.
Yeah, but it's probably definitely like still top 3, 100%. Oh yeah, still top definitely. 3. So yeah, Martin, shout out.
Shout out Eduardo. We love you.
Yes, we love you, Eduardo. Yeah, obrigado. How do we say thank you? Do they speak like Hungarian where Eduardo is? Hungary? I don't know.
Maybe Eduardo would have to.
Yeah, guys, let us know.
Let us know in the comments, man. Because we are streaming in that country.
Yeah, we are streaming.
So please do let us know how you say thank you. Let us know how you say thank you in your language, actually.
Yeah, actually.
Yeah, so
I think
something going.
It's important to be grateful, and I think in a way we're showing that we're grateful for the journey we've gone through. So yeah, guys, please, this is a YouTube video, so please in the comments down below, please let us know what how to say thank you in your language.
Exactly.
Yeah,
man. Yeah, it's actually that's crazy, bro. That was actually crazy. I mean, we ended up having Martin for a couple more episodes, actually.
3 episodes.
Yeah, when he was
overall.
watching. Yeah, when he was watching. his company. So, which is Superior Being. Be sure to check it out. You know, if you're looking for some fitness stuff and you're based in the Netherlands, because that is like, I think, our 4th country.
Yes.
Yeah,
it's very high.
It's very high ranked, actually.
Yeah.
One of the countries that surprises me, number 1 is South Africa. Number 2 is the United States of America. That one, that one is crazy because we only have 2 people within our circles
who live there.
Who live in the US. And that's Shaylin and Flavio. And if you guys are responsible for us being in multiple states, shout out to you guys,
like quite a few.
Shout out to you guys, like maybe they're like, you know, because like, you know, they fly planes.
So
maybe they like playing the podcast or like I don't know.
Who knows? And I think California is the top one, right?
Cali,
I'm pretty sure
Cali,
that's where Shaylin and Flavio are. No, Florida. Yeah, Florida. No, it's not California.
Yeah, they're fighting the crocodiles and stuff.
Everglades. And I think another highlight for me was the season when we spoke about company culture. Or that whole season, like everything, like I think we spoke about generational wealth, and I don't know why, but for some reason I just really enjoyed that season. I genuinely don't remember why.
It was a bit of a classy season.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was a bit of class to it. I don't know.
We've been doing this so long that we can differentiate.
We can differentiate.
Yeah, but it was like there was something about it that just.
Yeah, I think it's because those were things. The things we discussed were things we kind of working towards with the podcast and with the company. In general.
But that was for me. I mean, there's other things, you know, obviously more recent things, just kind of hitting certain milestones and stuff like that. But I think I acknowledge the earlier stuff because it was just, I guess it was a bit harder earlier because we were beginning and, you know, we've had to figure out a lot of things, like how long should an episode be, scheduling, so many things, but hey, it's coming through. And even understanding that we have to take breaks sometimes, because one thing that we've realized is that we'll never do like a full year. It'll probably be at most 10 months out of an entire year, or 9 months, depending on what. So that we also have time to like live and also come up with topics not on a rush, stuff like that.
So we can provide quality content, and also like, I think when I said live, like that's like genuine. You know, like, and you'll see when we talk about these topics in the next episodes, because we have talked about them before, but now we're talking about these same topics just a year and a couple of months later. And for those of you who've been following for the longest time since the jump, you will see the difference. And we'll also explain the difference as well. But yeah, man, my highlights, man. I'll take 2 since you took 2. I mean, one of my biggest highlights, man, was just the amount of countries we've been my biggest highlight was being in the top 1% in the education category last year, 2022.
Oh, yes.
We produced more content than 99% of content creators within that category, right? I think we produced about 2,400. Between 2,200 and 2,500 minutes of content last year, in our first year, and we're in the top 30% of shared podcasts globally. We're in that top 20%.
Wow, 30%. That's a crazy stat.
And I think, and it was crazy because we're averaging like 5 countries every month. We're streaming in this country, streaming in this country. So that's definitely a highlight. And I think also just the amount of knowledge we've gathered. I think that's really helped us. You know, and I think when you teach someone something, it actually helps you understand it better. A lot more. Like, remember, like, Dumi was like prolific in maths, like grade 9, like. What dumb about him. He was the master. Like, this guy was Master Shifu, man. And this guy was Master Shifu, man.
Bro, where did you get the Master Shifu thing? I just want to.
This is off the dome, bro. No, because who's the Master Shifu from Kung Fu Panda?
Oh, okay. No, the reason why I ask is because before the term ended last term, I started watching some videos on YouTube from this guy called CoffeeZilla, and he like he does videos on like fake gurus because there's a lot of like fake courses
that's
or
so
like
real.
And so one of the guys, really must watch out.
Yeah.
And then one of the guys was called like Master Sifu or something like that. So I was like, oh my way.
I really love Kung Fu Panda. I think it's one of the greatest animations to have ever
movies.
Yeah, to be ever made. Storyline, everything was great. But yeah, to me it was like the Master Shifu, man, and like we weren't even like the Dragon Warriors. We were just warriors, front line pawns in this chess game, fam. And he was leading the way, you know. So man was prolific, and he would help us, man. Oh, man, I even lost my train of thought.
Yeah.
But oh yes, yeah. When you teach someone, you get better, you know. And I kind of like helped him. So like, it's also helped me be better. Not only at the craft of podcasting, I think we've really gotten a lot better at that. Just helping people. You know, there's people who say, "Yo, your podcast has actually helped us so much." You know, it's helped me so much to grow and everything. And I think for that, if we can help one person in this journey, then we've done our job.
Yeah.
You know, at least someone has been able to take their lives to a whole new level. Because it's a progressive podcast, because every episode is about progression. It's meant to help you go forward and forward and forward.
It's progression over everything.
Progression over everything.
Man, everything just links up.
It just links up. Crazy.
With regards to the feedback, just before you continue, I think one of the most significant feedbacks we got, the most significant feedback we got was from a friend of mine. I used to study in Canada. I don't know if I've mentioned this before. And so there was a guy, his name is Ezekiel. And he said that he watched, was it the previous? Yeah, it was the previous season when we were talking about like some of the applications and things that you can use to get better, like Google Calendar and things. The productivity season. And he said that he was able to like set up like a whole database for himself using one of those. And the reason why that was so impactful for me is because I know Ezekiel, and even when I met him, he was already like a guy that was working with like complex systems and stuff like that. So to know that we actually helped a guy like that, not only like, you know, some of us that we are just doing basic things. It really like, helped. It really helped. Helped to know that, you know what, we're doing a decent job. We're doing a decent. We're working through it. You know, no one's perfect. We're not perfect, but we're progressing.
We're progressing. That's a bar.
Yeah.
That would make such a cool reel. You know, and then you add like that music, like down.
Always coming up with ideas.
Crazy. But I think let's show people the setup. Let's show people the setup.
Okay, yeah, you know what? We might as well, guys.
Yeah, so we're gonna show you the setup right now. Can I use your phone, bro?
Yeah. Cool. There's a request that I made to Mietani before we started filming this episode. However, I didn't go through with it, and I'm glad I didn't, because it would be really awkward now that he's actually like filming the setup. It'd be awkward if I had done what I wanted to do.
Okay, cool. So that's our camera over there. As you can see, that's us, right? We got a little pointy shoot camera, and then we recording here. As you can see, we're in my room, so that's our light there.
Humble beginnings.
Yeah, our mic is ring light over here.
What's up, guys?
Yes, sir. Oh, it's actually catching us on the camera.
Yeah. So
that's pretty crazy, but yeah, guys, this is our setup, and we look to get into a studio one day. We just pray to God that we're able to progress.
Yeah.
But this is what our setup looks like right now. And if you do want to support, we are open to any donations, whatever the case may be. Be sure to send us an email. We'll put the link in the email. We'll put the email link in the description. info.theprogressivepodcast@theprogressiveathlete.com. Maybe we need to change the podcast email, but
shorter or
I think it's I think we need to change that email. I think it's a bit too long.
Oh, make it like more user friendly, basically. Something like that's like a person's gonna see and they can, because people
like info podcast@theprogressiveathlete.com.
Yeah, something like that.
Or podcast at the Progressive Athlete.
Yeah.
Anyways,
because we know that everyone likes when things are easier for them.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Anyways, or TPP at theprogressiveathlete.com.
Yeah.
Because like the Progressive Podcast. Listen, that's an admin chat we're having here. But if you had fun watching our first video, be sure to like, subscribe, share our videos, our content, and also be sure to turn on post notifications so that you get a notification, so you get notified every time we post a video, whether it's on Spotify, if you're listening on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or even YouTube.
Deezer, Google Podcasts as well.
Google Podcasts as well. We'll be there.
We're everywhere, guys.
Yeah, wherever we are. But thank you guys. This is Mietani and Dumi signing out, and this is our first video episode.
Yeah.
Shout out, bro.
Congrats.
Let's get this bread.